Hello students, this video is the second part of the chapter 100 Dresses Part 1. Now in this video, I am going to continue the remaining of the chapter. The next day, Tuesday, Wanda was not in school either and nobody noticed her absence again. Now on the Monday also she was absent, she was not in the school. Similarly, on the next day, on Tuesday also she was not in the school. But not a single child of the school has noticed this, that she is not present in the school, because everybody were busy in their own work. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda was not there. Now Peggy and Maddie, they always used to sit in the front row with the children who were very studious or who scored well in the exam, and Wanda used to sit at the last second row of the last bench. Okay, so today on Wednesday, when Peggy and Maddie, they were sitting on the front benches, they saw that Wanda is absent. She is not sitting at her place. So she was not present in the class. Peggy was the most popular girl in school. The very familiar, the very popular girl was Peggy. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. Now she was pretty, she was beautiful, she was good looking, and not only this, she also belonged to a rich family. So her dresses were also pretty, and every now and then she used to wear new dresses. And her hair were also curly, they were not straight. Maddie was her closest friend. Now Peggy and Maddie, they were the best friends in the school. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda had made them late to school. Now it has already been discussed in the story that Peggy and Maddie, they waited for Wanda before coming to the school, and when they were going back to home, they used to search Wanda because Wanda was their time pass. They used to make fun of Wanda, they used to mock at her. So in this way they passed their way while going back from school to home. Also in the morning when they used to come from home to the school, on the way they used to wait for Wanda so that they can get a chance or an opportunity to make fun of her. But today they noticed that Wanda was absent. How they noticed? Because they were waiting for Wanda and Wanda did not come. And because of this, they themselves were late to the school because they were standing on the way for Wanda. They had waited and waited for Wanda to have some fun with her, and she just hadn't come. Now they were standing on the way only and they were waiting for Wanda, that when Wanda will come, they will go with Wanda and they will also make fun of her. But their waiting did not give them a positive result, and as a result they were late to the school. They often waited for Wanda Petronsky to have fun with her. Many times it was usual that while coming to the school and while going back to home, they always waited for Wanda so that they can make fun of her. And Wanda was also habitual of this. Wanda Petronsky, most of the children in room 13 did not have names like that. Now one reason is given that why the children used to make fun of Wanda, because her name Wanda Petronsky, even the name as well as the surname, was very peculiar and no other child was having like this name. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smitham, Allen. There was one boy named Bounce, William Bounce, and people thought that was funny, but not funny in the same way that Petronsky was. All other children, they were having simple names and there was nothing funny in their names. As funny it was Wanda Petronsky. Only one boy was there whose name was William Bounce. And this was also not as funny as the name of Wanda Petronsky. So children used to make fun of her. Wanda did not have any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. Now she belonged to a poor family. She was living in such an area where all the poor people used to live. Whenever she used to come to school by walking from home, her feet or her shoes were muddled with mud, so her clothes were also very dirty looking, so nobody liked to talk to her. So she was not having any friend in school, so in the school also and while going back to the home also she was all alone. Nobody was there to share her feelings. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang right. Now why it is called faded dress? Because every day she was wearing the same blue dress, and maybe every alternate day her mother used to wash her dress, and because of this alternate washing, the color of the blue color of the dress had faded. It had become light, and it was not properly hanged also. It was not properly ironed. It was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. There was no dirt on the dress. There were no stains on the dress. It was properly cleaned and washed, but it was not properly ironed. She didn't have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. Now, what is the meaning of this line? Friend was not there. There was no one to share her feelings, but students used to talk to her. They liked talking to her. Why? Just to make fun of her or just to laugh at her. Sometimes, so we can say that Vanda was like a time pass for other children. Sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground. Now in the school, you know that there are different games period also. Every day one class is getting one games period. So during the games period, the children of particular class, they go on the ground and they play some activity like cricket, football, basketball, kho-kho, whatever, langdi, whatever. So this Vanda Petronsky also used to watch the children playing on the ground during the games period, and at that time the other children, they used to surround her just to make fun of her. Vanda, Peggy would say in a most courteous manner as though she were talking to Miss Mason. Now just to make fun of her, Peggy would say very respectfully to Vanda, just like she is talking to her teacher. Vanda, she would say, giving one of her friends a nudge, tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? Now this question was a very silly question and nonsense questions to be asked to Vanda, but still Peggy asked this question just to mock at her or to make fun of her. 100, Vanda would say. So Vanda would also give a foolish answer, means unbelievable answer. When Peggy asked that how many dresses you have in the almirah, she would say that I have 100 dresses. 100, exclaimed all the little girls incredulously. Incredulously means this answer was not at all believable for other girls. Others thought that she is just telling a lie. And the little ones would stop playing hopscotch and listen. So when she used to give the answer, though she belonged to a poor family, but she used to say that I have 100 dresses lying in my cupboard or almirah. So other children also used to listen to her answer, and they used to stop playing and just curiously look at her face. Yeah, 100 all lined up, said Vanda. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. So Peggy would ask curiously that do you think you have 100 dresses? Because it was a comment. You belong to a poor family. Okay, so how can you have 100 dresses in your cupboard lined up? So Peggy used to sarcastically ask her that do you think you have 100 dresses? So Vanda would also say that yes, I have 100 dresses, and all those 100 dresses are lined up in my cupboard. What are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. Yeah, all silk, all colors. So Peggy would ask, next question was that if you say that you have 100 dresses in your cupboard, so can you tell me what is the texture, means of what cloth that these dresses are made up of? So Vanda would say that all these dresses are made up of silk, and all types of colors I have. Not only one or two color, but dresses of all colors, multicolors also. Velvet too? Yeah, velvet too. So Peggy would ask that do you have velvet color dress also? So she would say yes, velvet. 100 dresses, Vanda would repeat stolidly, all lined up in my closet. Again Vanda would repeat her sentence that yes, I have 100 dresses, and all these 100 dresses are being lined up in my cupboard. Then they would let her go, and then before she'd gone very far, they couldn't help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. Now after getting this reply, Peggy and other children, they would say that, okay Vanda, now you can leave. We don't have any other question to ask. And when Vanda used to go for some ahead some distance, again the children started laughing and making fun of her, of the response that she had given to Peggy. 100 dresses. Obviously, the only dress Vanda had was the blue one she wore every day. So Peggy would say that it's just a simple lie. She's telling lie to all of us, because every day in the school she is wearing the same blue dress, and that also faded one. So why did she say she had 100? What a story. So if she does not have any dress, as she is wearing one blue dress, and that also not properly lined, ironed, and color is also faded, so why she is telling us lie that she has 100 dresses? How many shoes did you say you had? 60 pairs, all lined up in my closet. So next question after the dresses, the next question was, Peggy would ask her that how many shoes you have, how many pairs of shoes you have to wear. So she would say that I have 60 pairs of shoes to wear, and all those shoes are properly arranged in my closet, my cupboard. Cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this, all alike. Then Peggy would ask that you say that you have 60 pairs of shoes. So are these 60 pairs of shoes all similar variety or of the same variety? So Vanda would say, oh no, every pair is different, all colors, all lined up. I don't have same variety of shoes. All the varieties of shoes are different, and not only this, I have also different colors of shoes. Peggy, who had thought up this game, and Maddie, her inseparable friend, were always the last to leave. All this planning was done by Peggy as well as her friend Maddie. So in the last, these two students were the last to leave the school. Finally, Vanda would move up the street, her eyes dull and her mouth closed, hitching her left shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had, finishing the walk to school alone. So after making fun of Vanda, Peggy and Maddie would say that now you can go, and on the way it was all alone, Vanda was going back to her home from the school, and nobody else, means no other student or no other friend was there to accompany her on the way. Peggy was not really cruel. She protected small children from bullies. Now the way questions were asked by Peggy, it seemed that she is very cruel, but in reality she is not at all cruel. She is very kind, very sophisticated, very gentle towards the small children, and whenever she observes that any small child is being hurt or is being tortured, she does not like that, and she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. Now this is not only the case with the human beings or with the small children. Even she is very kind with the animals also. She cannot see any animal mistreating or misbehave. If anybody had said to her, don't you think that is a cruel way to treat Vanda? She would have been very surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? So if somebody asks her that if you are so kind, so gentle, not only towards the children and not only towards the animals, then why do you trouble or why do you torture Vanda? Why you make fun of her? This is not the proof that you are kind or gentle. So what she used to say, that no, this is not cruelty. If I am asking foolish questions to Vanda, then this is not an example of cruelty. In fact, she is giving me wrong answer. She is lying me, and because of this lying nature only, I am troubling her more, because I don't like people who tell lies. So why, if I ask her that how many dresses you have, then what is the need to tell lie that I have 100 dresses? This is clearly a lie, because she belongs to a poor family. Anybody could tell that was a lie. Why did she want to lie? And she wasn't just an ordinary person, else why did she have a name like that? Anyway, they never made her cry. So Peggy would say that what is the need of lying? If she does not have 100 dresses, she could say to me that no, I am not so rich, I have only one dress, because it is clear that in the school if she is wearing only one faded blue dress, so that how can she have 100 dresses in the cupboard? And second thing, her name is also very funny. This also makes us laugh. So these are the two reasons. One, she is telling lie to me that she has 100 dresses, and another reason is that her name is very funny. Whenever we pronounce her name, it seems very funny or laughing way. So that is the reason we make fun of her, but we never make fun of her in such a way that makes her cry. We take care that she does not cry because of our behavior. Now, the remaining part of the story will continue in the next video. Thank you.